Welcome to ICEF Monitor. I'm sitting here with Anders Akerlund from Avista. Thank you for coming, Anders. Your agency has been long established in the market and you're an expert on Sweden. What new trends do you see from an outbound perspective?
Well, since I've been working in the business since 30 years, I've seen some trends come and go. One trend which is clear is that the commission in the business has increased during the 30 years I've been working. But this is just something which is nice for us and which helps us in our work. But the trend among the students that has taken place this last 10 years is that the market has become more shattered. You can see, if that's the correct word to use, that the students wish to do very many different things. Our background is in language studies abroad, and we started to develop other concepts, other products about 5-7 years ago with higher education in the US and now a bit more in Australia and United Kingdom. So companies that used to be specialized like us before in language courses are now trying to do other things as well. And other companies that used to be specialized in higher education has gone into the market for language courses. And this is also because students wish to do so many different things. They have so much choices. So you have to be able to offer products according to their needs. So this is one trend that we have picked up more products. There are also products that didn't exist before as volunteer programs. People didn't know what volunteering was about 10 years ago, and now there are 2, 3, 4 companies in Sweden only living on this program. So we have tried to approach this market as well, as we are well established and have our marketing channels to reach young people. It's about the same clientele as for the language course, since 18 to 25 is dominating. For the language business, we have courses for all ages, from 7 years of age, family courses, teenagers, young adults, adult people, and 50-plus courses. So for the language courses, we cover all markets, also including intensive courses with companies.
Traditionally, Swedish students have a very high level of English, I would say. And also education is free in Sweden. Mm-hmm. So can you explain to me why are Swedish people or why are Swedish students actually going abroad to study, or what are they looking for then?
Well, if we start with language courses, our main market has been students 18 to 25, especially students graduating from high school that want to do something else before they start to study at university. And they can, some of them backpack in Southeast Asia, others just work in Sweden or elsewhere, and some go to study language to improve their CV because they want to learn fluently another language. So, for example, we do not send a majority of students to English-speaking destinations, but rather, 1/3 maybe to study English, or 25% English, 25% French, 25% Spanish, 25% other languages. So many people consider that they already speak quite good English, and they go for another language or for a life experience, or a combination, under quite safe circumstances, and they know where they will live and so on.
Do I understand you right that you're basically giving the advice to educators that they should see that they provide an experience with the studies if they want to attract Swedish students?
Yes, it's quite important that we can attract the students with some arguments but it doesn't need to be a specialized program. It it has been a trend towards maybe big cities, communities that are well known. It's easier to sell than destinations that are more inland. Swedish people prefer to go to places which are not too far from the coast, for example, the Mediterranean coast destinations, whether it's France, Spain, Italy, rather than inland. Or big cities like Berlin, Paris, London are always attractive.
Can we focus a little bit on the decision-making process? Who is making the decision traditionally in Sweden when it comes to choose a destination, choose an education provider, choose an institution? Is it more family, or do the students choose for themselves?
Well, I think this is quite special to Sweden, that we have a system since decades where students can borrow money from the Swedish state for their university education, and you can also borrow this money for studies abroad. And this means that the decision where to study and how to study is more up to the student than to the parents. So we direct all of our marketing to the students, and it's quite rare for people about 18, 20 that the parents are involved in the decision. But this also has an impact because the money the students can borrow from the state is limited. And for language courses, many schools fit into this limit of how much students can borrow. But for studying higher education, the cost to study is covered by the loans approximately for the cost of a community college in the US, but not for a university. So this has an influence on where our main market is. It has to be a fee which is not too high to fit the Swedish students.
So are they mostly looking then for community colleges in the United States, or is it?
Well, this is where the volume market is, but it's important to have universities to offer as well, because there are a number of students that are interested in a university, and also if they are already studying at a university and want to do an exchange program, they probably will have a too high level of studies to go to a community college.
Let's look at the typical Swedish student. When they go to study abroad, what kind of degrees are they interested in, or are they also interested in working there?
Yes, it's true. Since we have this problem with the limits that the students can borrow from the Swedish state, from the authority CSN, students are interested in working alongside. In Europe, it's quite easy to work alongside with studies, but in the US, it's more difficult. So it's important that the student has the financiation when they decide to go. Australia has openings, since when you have a student visa, you can work alongside studies as well. So this is always very helpful. Concerning the degrees students are interested in, I would say that there are obviously different markets. We have the students interested in undergraduate degree, study abroad and master, but very many students are interested in study abroad. This can be, for example, at a community college, it's quite easy to start with 6 months, decide if they want to stay, and if they really like it, they continue to prepare their associate degree with a possible transfer to a university. Some students are interested in an undergraduate degree from the beginning. Other students wish a more vocational program, like a 1-year degree program, like a 1-year program for tourism and hospitality, for example.
Thank you so much, Anders. It was a pleasure having you here. It was a pleasure learning more about the Swedish outbound market. And this was ICEF Monitor. We keep you.
It was great to have this opportunity to be interviewed and to share our experience. Thank you very much.